Good evening. It's a privilege to be here among some of India's most inspiring business minds, entrepreneurs, and policymakers. My heartfelt congratulations to Outlook Business for fostering such thoughtful conversations through platforms like this. This evening is a celebration not just of awards, but of vision, courage, and resilience. We often speak of India as one of the world's fastest growing economies, but beyond the numbers, the real transformation lies in who is driving this growth. The business leaders, first-time founders, small-time innovators, women entrepreneurs, and youth with global ambition. The shift is both economic and cultural, and it's changing the very DNA of enterprises in India. It's also important to reflect on how enterprise and leadership have evolved over time. Businesses are not a modern-day invention. They trace back thousands of years, from barter-based village markets to the merchant guilds of ancient India. Enterprises have always been central to human progress. The industrial era brought scale, structure, and global supply chains. Leadership in those days was defined by command and control. But in the 21st century, the enterprise is no longer just a company, it's a community. And leadership has evolved from being directives to being inclusive, empathetic, and purpose-driven. The great business leaders of our time are not just strategists, they are listeners, learners, and lifelong builders. We heard some of them today. The remarkable strides India is making in enterprise and innovation would not be possible without the visionary leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister and the steadfast commitment of both the central and state governments to economic growth. The proactive focus on ease of doing business, digital infrastructure, and policy reforms has created a fertile ground for businesses to thrive, from grassroots enterprises to global giants. This pro-enterprise mindset is just not encouraging entrepreneurship, it's unlocking India's vast potential. The evolution is visible in this room. Each of you, from tech founders and healthcare pioneers to manufacturing heads, construction champions, and policymakers, represent that shift. You are shaping new kind of business ecosystem, one that is resilient, responsible, and deeply rooted in trust. Speaking of ecosystems, the great city of Bengaluru deserves special mention. It has become the beating heart of India's digital revolution, a city that has connected global markets, empowered local talent, and shown how technology can democratize opportunity. At NSE, we have been privileged to witness and support this transformation. Since '94, we have worked to modernize India's capital markets, introduce electronic trading, enhancing transparency, and making investment more accessible than ever before. Today, NSE-listed companies account for over 455 lakh crore in market cap, that is $5.1 trillion, placing us amongst the top 4 capital markets globally after US, China, and Japan. But more importantly, we have seen how capital markets fuel inclusive growth. Today, 115 million or 11.5 crore unique investors span 99.9% of India's PIN codes, invest in India's growth through NSE. What is more heartening is that about 40% of the investors are under 30 years of age, and 1 in 4 investors are women. That is not just financial evolution, it's a social transformation. With over 2,700 companies listed on the exchange, we serve as a powerful platform for enterprises, large and small, to raise funds, scale their operations, and contribute meaningfully to India's development story. At NSE, we are proud to enable their growth by facilitating access to capital, thereby fueling economic expansion and job creation. In financial year 25 alone, we enabled fund mobilization of 18.7 lakh crore or $210 billion, including 242 IPOs. Remarkably, this was much higher than the incremental bank credit to the industrial and services sectors by Indian banking system. NSE today is a global leader in fund mobilization and the largest exchange in the world in terms of market activity. This tells you that the confidence of India's people strongly lies in the capital market, in its entrepreneurial ecosystem. And yet, numbers tell only part of the story. The true story lies in trust. In 78 years since independence, India's greatest achievement is the trust of its people on its entrepreneurs. At NSC, we have made it our mission to build trust markets where people from all walks of life can invest, dream, and participate in India's growth. Whether it is through investor education, enforcing robust governance, or enabling financial inclusion, we see ourselves as custodians of trust. What has made this possible is technology. We are entering a new phase of what I call capitalism without capital. And India, with its demographic age and digital infrastructure, is uniquely poised to lead this phase. But with this opportunity comes a responsibility. The winners of tomorrow will be those who see themselves not just as promoters, but as trustees of a larger purpose of community, of nation building. At its heart, enterprise is not just about numbers. It's about enabling economies, uplifting societies, and transforming the everyday lives of people. It's about access to opportunity and hope for a better future. And we, as leaders, are not just strategists or founders. We are custodians of that responsibility. Looking ahead, for India to grow, it needs capital, and it needs to create wealth, not just in the hands of a few, but spread across region, industries, and communities. As India advances on its journey towards Viksit Bharat, NSC will be its catalyst, channeling resources where they are needed the most, empowering businesses to scale and enabling citizens to participate in nation building, leading it to a more developed, resilient, and inclusive economy. To all the business leaders present here tonight, know that your contribution, one drop at a time, is building the ocean of India's future. Together, we are shaping the change, not just witnessing it. I congratulate all the winners tonight. You are building a stronger and more dynamic India. Thank you, Outlook Business, for inviting me here today. Jai Hind.